The earliest events of creation were revealed to man thousands of years ago. Solutions to modern-day problems were also revealed.
I can't believe it. You can't.
They are found in a book unequaled in scope and value. Of that book it has been said, men have lived by it, men have died for it. No other book approaches its influence. The Bible has the widest circulation of any book in history. In whole or in part, it has been translated into over 2,000 languages. It is not a scientific textbook, but it agrees with later scientific discoveries. In the Middle Ages, popular wisdom said that the earth was flat. But 700 years before Christ, the Bible spoke of the circle of the earth. Some in ancient times believed that the earth was supported by 4 elephants standing on the back of a sea turtle. Nearly 3,500 years ago, the Bible simply stated that God was hanging the earth upon nothing. In this, the Bible agrees with modern science. Only recently did scientists discover the genetic role of DNA, which fixes a person's hereditary makeup. In prayer to God, King David expressed this principle.
Your eyes saw even the embryo of me, and in your book all its parts were down in writing.
"3,000 years ago, the Bible in simple terms described the natural water cycle that involves clouds, rain, and snow. The Bible explained,
Every river flows into the sea, but the sea is not yet full. The water returns to where the rivers began and starts all over again.
How did the Bible writers know these facts? They were inspired by God. Consider the amazing account of how the Bible was recorded. Papyrus making in Egypt. This ancient writing material dates back to thousands of years before Christ. Moses probably used papyrus to write the first 5 books of the Bible. Sheets of papyrus were joined together to form scrolls, with an average length of from 14 to 20 feet. Doubtless, the Christian disciples wrote their books and letters on papyrus. Tanners making leather parchment flourished when exports of papyrus were banned for a time in the 2nd century BCE. Long-lasting leather was better than papyrus. Parchment scrolls were in use in Jesus' day. Early Christians were commanded to spread the good news. Scrolls, however, were costly and not easy to handle. A more practical form of written text was needed. The codex was invented by the end of the 1st century. It was made by folding sheets to form leaves, which were then stitched together. A similar method is used to produce modern books. In what languages was the Bible written? The first 39 books were written mostly in Hebrew. They are called the Hebrew Scriptures, also known as the Old Testament. Small portions were penned in Aramaic. By the time of Jesus, Greek had become an international language. It was the language used to write the concluding 27 books of the Bible, known as the Christian Greek Scriptures, or the New Testament. How can we be sure that our modern Bibles accurately represent the original writings? Jewish and Christian copyists took great care in preserving the sacred writings. Many very early copies have survived to our day. Two valuable examples are the Chester Beatty collection in Ireland and the John Rylands fragment in England. In the British Museum is an outstanding manuscript that serves to confirm the accuracy of the Bible. The Alexandrine Codex, dating from the 5th century CE, contains an almost complete text of the Bible in Greek. The Vatican in Rome is the home of a codex that dates from the 4th century CE. Hidden for centuries, it was finally made available to scholars in facsimile form in 1889. The wilderness region of Sinai. German scholar Count Tischendorf visited the monastery of St. Catherine at the foot of Mount Sinai in 1844. According to his account, he found a large basket of old parchment set aside to be burned as rubbish. Among this so-called rubbish, he claims to have discovered 129 pages of the Hebrew Scriptures translated into Greek, the oldest he had ever seen. He had found what came to be known as the Sinaitic manuscript, probably copied in the 4th century CE. The Dead Sea region is where the most famous biblical scrolls were found. In 1947, a young Bedouin herdsman discovered the first of the Dead Sea Scrolls in a cave near Khirbet Qumran, southeast of Jerusalem. Some scrolls can be seen today in the Israel Museum in Jerusalem. It is the oldest collection of Hebrew manuscripts yet found, some dating to the 2nd century before Christ.